Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where and when you're listening to this. This is Coffee with Kevin, and I am Kevin Martin, a mindset coach, and this is my coffee cup today. Oh boy, SOB, and it's not what you're thinking. It's south of the border. Mm, 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 mm. Is that a good coffee cup today? Really love having it. It's awesome. Let's see. I'm just playing with my playing with the chat just in case someone wants to chat in with me from Facebook. Anyway, I please invite your comments on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you are. I typically try to check them as much as I can. I don't see them live unless it's Facebook here. Anyway, how are you this morning? Today is, oh my goodness, September 10th. September 10th already. Oh my goodness, I got a little thing here. Can you believe we're in the last quarter? We're the final quarter of the year. This year has buzzed by so fast, a little too fast. Sometimes life passes us by so fast we don't get done what we want to get done. On a daily, weekly, monthly basis, whatever it is. And sometimes it just goes too fast. It goes too fast for us. Today, September 10th, what happened in history? Well, you know what? First ever DUI. Guess what year? 1893 in London. A London cabbie was driving his little old-fashioned, probably Model T, God knows what it was, into a wall on the street. And got arrested because he was drunk. First ever DUI in 1893. That's phenomenal. What else happened on this day? Oh yeah, 1993, first episode of X-Files. Oh, I love that show. That was such a great show. And birthdays today, we got Arnold Palmer, born in 1929, passed away 2016, not too long ago. No other real celebrity birthdays, but you know it did happen in this day in 1977. 1977 was the last guillotine execution in France. When I read that, I said, oh my God, they were using it all the way through there. They started it during the French Revolution, and then they continue using it for the death sentences. Wow. All the way to 1977. Thank God it's not there anymore. It's just, it may be something that was, quick, instant, and maybe seen as humane because it's so quick and instant, but it was also horrible. It was also horrible to think, the bodies were, separated, the head separated from the body. Anyway, that's too much doom and gloom. Let's get back to what we're doing today. Good morning, Brenda Martin. Good morning. So today I've got a quote that we're going to go with. We're going to talk about today. The way in which we perceive life determines the way in which we react, or way in which you perceive life that determines the way in which you react. And it's that reaction in life that determines where and how far you go. It's pretty simple. By the way, this is my quote. It's first page of my book, Living Your Dream Life, and I'm all about perceptions. I'm so much about perceptions. I will say that we create our own reality. And none of us have what called in my world the same map of the world, meaning how we perceive our reality. We can say, Kevin, I'm sitting here on my phone, I'm on my computer. That's real. Yes, that part is real. Okay. What you're perceiving from what I'm saying how it makes you feel is your reality. What you think you're seeing, what you think you're hearing. And I say think because we all filter everything that comes into us, and it's based on our own feelings, our own beliefs. And so no two people can think exactly the same, and no two people then can perceive anything the same. And let me just give you a simple example, a real simple example. You and your sibling go back and remember something that happened, something significant that happened in the past. And as you're describing it, if you were both there, if you're both standing side by side, you'll probably describe different things. Matter of fact, you'll probably describe things that actually are contrary to each other's. Sometimes that happens. Why? Because you both perceive things differently. So this incident, this real incident that happened, is seen differently by you and your sibling. You take two people standing on the side of the road, and they both see an accident. Depending on their experiences with accidents, for instance, you see a Cadillac getting in an accident with a Volkswagen, and the person standing next to you actually was hit by a Cadillac in the past. Instantly they go to blame the Cadillac because that's their perception. That's what's going on in their head. So we make up the world by our perceptions. And when we come to realize that, then we can slowly change them if we need to change them. So I say the way in which we perceive life, and we all perceive life just a little differently, and some of us very differently, determines the way in which we react to life. Now, it's those reactions, by the way, that cause our results. And so I'm talking about reactions, actions that we do. If we perceive something that's really good, and then we react in a really positive manner, we more than likely will get positive results. If we perceive something that's really negative and causes us to react in a negative manner, we'll more than likely get negative results. That's what I'm talking about. I'll go further, and I'll go philosophically. I'll go further to say there's no one reality. I have people that disagree with me. But, a long time ago when, quantum physicists and even maybe not even quantum physicists looked at the atom, and everything's made up of the atom, and the atom is made up of a lot of space. So they could say that the solid desk in front of you, the solid chair that you're sitting on, is really made up of space. So you're perceiving it as solid, yes, but it's really physically there's more space in it than there is matter. I won't go that way. That was an early argument to real reality. I'll go to the point where what we perceive really drives how we act and how we think, and that then determines our results. And if you realize, hey, I'm really thinking that this is not a good thing, let's look at it from a different angle. That's what perceptions are, right? You look at something from the front, and it gives you a thought of what it is. But if you walk around and look at it from the side or from the back, you might actually change your perception of what it is. It's that car accident I was talking about. It might look like one thing from the front view, and you go in the back and you say, oh yeah, this car didn't hit this car, it's that car that hit that car, or whatever it is. We see things, once we can see things from different perceptual angles, we can then get different stories. So once we change our own perceptions, we then get different stories. That's what this is all about today, is being aware that we have perceptions. And I'm gonna go a step further. Our perceptions drive our judgments. So let's be aware that we have judgments. All of us have judgments. It's the first thing we might see. It's the first thing we think about when we see someone or something. That's our judgment. The very first thing. And a lot of the times we don't change that judgment. Sometimes we do. Sometimes there is data coming in that really contrary to what the original judgment was, so we can't refute that. But a lot of times that first judgment stays. So when you know it's a judgment, when you become really aware of your thought process, and you say, "Whoa, wow, that sounds like a judgment. Maybe it's not correct. Maybe I should look at this. Maybe I should think about this a little more." Then you start to be able to get a chance to see reality. I did a process that really wiped out a lot of judgments I was having on people. And I didn't do that for that reason. I was doing that to clear some negative thoughts I might have had around people and situations. But I did it to the extent where I started seeing these strangers not as my judgments, but as these, pure human beings. It's ready for me to listen to observe, to figure out who they really were before I pass judgment. And then the judgment, of course, is a whole lot more accurate because I didn't do that just by my first sight, just by my first recollection of who they are. I took the time. And you can ask yourself these questions. Someone's acting really strange. You ask yourself the question, geez, I wonder what's going on in their world. That stops the judgment right there. Geez, I wonder what they've experienced. I wonder what they're thinking. Because if you wonder what someone else is thinking, that means you're not thinking that they're thinking the same thing you are. That's a problem in the world today, is very often most of us think that other people think the same way. And therefore, if they're acting or doing something differently or something contrary to what you think should happen, you're saying, well, they must purposely be doing this, and knowing that they're doing something wrong. And then we pass judgment, where it's not always the case, is it? Matter of fact, it's hardly ever the case. So your perceptions drive your life. Start knowing that they are perceptions. Start knowing that you are perceiving things in a certain way instantly most of the time. And then start thinking about, okay, how can I change? How can I change my perceptions of this person or this event or this thing so I can look at it differently? All right. That has been a wonderful morning, September 10th. And I love talking about perceptions. It's kind of the core for my world, how I work, how I teach, how I do everything. And it's a core thing. So I love being able to talk to you about this morning. This has been, I'm going to change it. I'm going to turn it all around. This has been an SOB of a moment, south of the border. This has been Coffee with Kevin. And if you want to reach out, you want to talk more about, learn more about perceptions and what I'm talking about, you can reach me on LinkedIn, Kevin Martin, Mindset Coach. You can reach me on Facebook, Kevin Martin, Tampa, Florida. Kevin Martin's very popular, very common name. I don't know why. Martin happens to be a very, very common name, almost as common as Smith. But you can find me. The picture is basically the same. I'm in Tampa, and by locations, you can find me there. Text me, direct message me. You can also go to my website, contact me through there as well, www.poseffects.com, POSEFFECTS.com. That is short for Positive Effects, of which I hope that Coffee with Kevin has been doing for the past 4 years, leaving some small positive effect with everybody who takes the time to sit and listen. I will see you all later next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.